So Dwight Howard's in the NBA Hall of Fame, but how do we look at his career? And has he so polarizing? He's one of those cats that's still like an asterisk. You still kind of like, did we get everything out of him? It all cracks me up. How Shaq got 4 rings with the 6 finals, last three-peat, 3-time finals MVP, etc., etc. And he got put on in 96, and some people question the top 50, but he did, and he more than made up for it, but they still act like he underachieved. Now, underachievement is this dude, Dwight Howard, because to me, he was a bigger version of a David Robinson who never learned an offensive game. If he had an offensive game, when I look at him, I just like Scottie Pippen type situation. Like the guy could beast in different ways, but then he just came up short. Now, and of course, he gave the LeBron James shadow, which was bizarre. I mean, y'all teamed up. You came back to LA in the bubble. I mean, you got a ring, but we don't debate you. And then I see some people now asking, is he a top 10 center, top 5? No, not even for his era. No, he was considered great for his era, but yet he didn't dominate his era. He got to the finals with Orlando, and Stan Van Gundy did a lot with him. He had great footwork. Like, if the guy could have had a shot, like if he had even a sky hook, anything. Give me 23, 24 points a game with those rebounds, those blocks, his defensive player of the year, because I had a buddy of mine who, a diehard Laker fan, he always talk about, the plethora of defensive. I said, yeah, how does that work? I said, because Dwight Howard is more closer as a better version of Rudy Gobert than he is to Dennis Rodman and Ben Wallace as far as dominating. Big, strong, and he's an interesting cat because the NBA won't touch him. Some people call him Diddy Howard. You let your imagination how that go. But somehow he's turned PR into his favor, yet it's twisted. The NBA won't touch him, didn't put him in the top 75, but yet he's a Hall of Famer. He's got acknowledgement, but it's at a distance. It's kind of awkward. The whole thing with Dwight Howard kind of hits kind of awkward. And I know I ain't the only one who thinks that. Yeah, he's Hall of Famer, but it's like an asterisk for me. I ain't hunted on Dwight. I ain't never been hunted on him. Some of the cats in my old block used to call him Delight. Used to call him Delight Howard. Just thought his game was kind of soft. It just didn't manifest. Talented, but imagine to be that bulked up and all that. Because I remember when he was on the cover of Men's Health, unlike Luka, who had to put the cheeseburgers down, Dwight actually worked out. He just didn't work on his offensive game. And I still remember how the Lakers trapped him in the finals. D-Fish and Kobe and them was swatting at him, and he couldn't put the ball on the ground, and he couldn't finish. Because if he had any kind of finish in him, now he wouldn't have been no Shaq, but that's who he looked up to. But he was getting some lessons from Patrick Ewing. He just never learned to have a shot to his game. It just was MIA. He gave you theatrics, the Superman and all that and all the fun. But, and it's just that I always remember how Kobe looked at him, because Kobe said, I came to appreciate Shaq when I had Dwight Howard. Cats just looked at him as soft, and some cats was kind of talented, but just didn't finish. He just, goofball. And yeah, he Hall of Famer. But I thought the speech was kind of like, I'm like, you shutting out LeBron? I'm like, that wasn't how you got what you got. But you did come up as a special. Now, to this day, he still thinks he can stop Jokic. So, yeah. But anyway, if you're indifferent about him being a Hall of Famer, or you're kind of on the fence, where are you staying with Dwight Howard? Do you feel that he should have gotten that now? What do you think? Because I didn't got through talking about Carmelo Anthony's whole thing, but we come down with Dwight. Please like, subscribe, work on thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out. Peace.